Alright guys, if you found this video today, you're probably like me, looking for a video on how to put an aftermarket sub into a LEXUS LX470. I'm going to do a quick just overview of everything I did to get this sub in here. I tried to do an instructional video, but I didn't have enough storage on my phone, so here we are. I'm going to walk through it the best I can on how I did everything, and let's do it. Starting from the hood, there I have my 8-gauge wire fished down and around. I have my fuse box mounted there with RTV silicone. I did cut into the firewall, but I have it sealed back with RTV silicone, I believe it is. From there, I came down through the firewall here, pulled this panel off, pulled this footrest off, floorboard is out. These panels, these floorboard panels just pop off. There's 3 pins underneath, don't lose them. And there's a channel down here. You'll see all the wires you can tuck your wires into. In here right now, I have my 8-gauge wire, my remote. Yeah. Why do I feel like I'm forgetting something? Yeah, just my 8-gauge wire and my remote wire for the base knob. Put it right here. 3M tape worked good. If you use 3M tape, make sure you press it for at least a minute. Ran my base knob underneath there for the wire. As you can see, it tucks right up underneath. Come around and be careful around the brake and the gas pedal. Make sure you secure it up where it won't ever get jerked on or nothing like that. And they both come behind this panel, like I said, through the floorboard. To pull this seat belt panel off, you have to take that plastic clip off. Once you get it off, there's another plastic tab. You just pop it out. Then pull this seat belt cover straight out and slide it up, and it'll free it up, and you'll see the channel down there. Keep running. And this floorboard panel is the exact same way. 3 pins, 2 or 3 pins on this one. Pop it up, keep running it. Once you get it ran, go through, tuck it up securely. And then here I have, like I said, my 8-gauge wire, my remote wire for my base knob, and I actually ran my speaker wire back down. Now, the more complicating part, I installed the SCAR 500 watt monoblock amp. Now, here you can see where I grounded. So far, so good with that ground. I did scratch the paint and clean it up real nice. And I use wire ferrules for every single one of these wire connections and heat shrink. You see I had to splice my RCAs. That wasn't very fun, and I'm probably gonna figure out a better way to do that. But as you can see behind here, I have 1/4-inch Ducko board. I got it on Amazon, a 12 by 24 sheet for like 20 bucks. I have obviously cut it out to fit inside of here. Why is my Ducko board recessed behind this? Because if I would have mounted the Ducko board flush here with these bolts, the amplifier and my LC2I would stick out too far, and this whole trim fender piece back here wouldn't fit. And yes, you can see where I removed my stock sub. It is no longer here. And to get this Ducko board in there, what I did was found these open holes. Okay, I drilled these out with a 3/8 bit. It's got a 3/8 bolt right here, stainless, with the lock washers on the back. And as you can see, there's a spacing in between. What I did is I cut 1.5 inch pieces. You can see that piece there. 1.5 inch pieces of 1/2 inch pipe that I got at Tractor Supply or your hardware store. That's the smallest pipe I can find, and that was the right size bolt to fit in it. So here are 3/8 bolts. These top ones, important, are 2.5 inches long. This one and this one. If you get 3, they will tap into the body out here. They're too long. Now you could get a 2 here. I already had 3-inch bolts. Sorry, 2.5 here, but I already had 3, so the panel in the rear is backed off down here. So this is a 3-inch, but a 2.5 would work as well. And like I said, each bolt has a 1.5 inch piece of 1/2 inch pipe. And all that did was set the amplifier back, as you can see, so that we can get this panel back on. So just big enough. I mean, you can see this is a 500 watt amp. You could squeeze 1,000. You definitely get an 800 watt RMS, but I have the M500 monoblock running to the SDR8 with SCARS box. I do have it wired to 1 ohm. So this amp, obviously at 1 ohm, is 500 watts. This is a 350 watt sub. It is overpowered. I did screw up. I didn't buy a dual 4 ohm. I bought a dual 2 ohm that I couldn't wire to 2 ohms. I assumed dual 2 ohm, you can wire 2 ohms. I messed up. So what I had to do was put a voltmeter on my speaker wire leads. With this wired at 1 ohm, it's 500 watts. This sub can only handle 350. Well, that 350 converted into volts was about 17 volts. So what I had to do, sit here with my gain, have my voltmeter on my speaker wire leads over here. I had to have them on the speaker wire leads and crank and adjust the gain to around 17 volts. And that put me at right around 350 watts, a little on the safer side. I think it was like 18 volts, but that way I'm not overpowering this sub. And I may get a bigger one in the future, but it sounds good. As you can see, I have the LC2i. Why do I have the LC2i? Because with this, well, my video got interrupted, but here we are with the LC2i. Why did I buy the LC2i? So you have your stock sub, which plugs in here. That was the plug for my stock subwoofer. As you can see, there's 2 wires coming out. Well, with this LC2i, I can take those 2 subwoofer leads and run them in here, and it will provide me with my RCAs that I'm not getting from an aftermarket head unit. So all you have to do, take the leads from the subwoofer plug, splice in some more wire, run it to your LC2i, left and right side specifically, and then you can bypass the GTO. You don't actually have to bypass the GTO, but what happened is I was excited about this, but the only time this LC2i would cut on was when you turn the volume up and there was signal coming from the speaker leads. So that wasn't going to work because it was shutting this amp on and off with the volume, actually with the bass specifically, not just the volume. So what did I have to do? Well, as you can see, if you've pulled this panel off already, you have a cigarette lighter plug, 12 volt, and I tested it, and yes, it cuts on and off with the vehicle. So what did I do? I tapped my 12 volt and 12 volt ground wires from this. You know, I had that with just the speaker wires, but that wasn't, like I said, even with the 12 volt ground and the speaker, that's all I had. I didn't have a remote in. That's when the LC2 was acting funky. So then what did I do? Well, I just tapped into this 12 volt remote in. Okay, so I tapped into the 12 volt and ran it into the remote in. So there's my 12 volt. When the car shuts on, when that cigarette lighter shuts on, this LC2i shuts on with the vehicle. So then I have my remote out. That is what we need to turn this amp on. So Then of course I came from my remote out and ran it into my remote in on my subwoofer amplifier. And you just, you know, have your 8-gauge wire, power, ground, and I have grounded it right there. You can tell I cleaned the paint up, but so far so good. I haven't had this amp shut off and go into protect mode yet or anything like that, and I've been running it pretty hard. Then I have my speaker wires, which I ran back out there, came down a little ways and went in between the carpet. You know, do it how you want, but that's basically it. I don't think I can show y'all the sub. I might be able to give it a little play. It is not nothing crazy. It sounds good. It sounds like better than any stock vehicle you've ever heard, but it's not too crazy. I've had some big subs in the past, but this is it. I mean, like I said, you might get an 800 watt amp in there, but then I based this whole system off the the wattage I can get with my stock electrical system without changing an alternator, without the big three. This whole setup here, or between the sub and the amp, is based off what I could get, and that was around 400 to 500 volts. I mean, yeah, no, 400 to 500 watts RMS without damaging my electrical system. So yeah, it's underpowered at 2 ohms. Sorry, at 1 ohm, this is running 500. So right now, this is running at 350 watts. It's at its limit. And yeah, I have it upside down. I just got it hooked up, just trying to see what sounds best. And that's it. So I hope I helped you. I know this is a task. That board is a task. If you wanted to mount your LC2i and SCAR somewhere else, or if you're not scared to just put it back here, you at least know how to wire it up. I wanted this job done the best I could, so it took me about a day and a half to get all this built and wired up. So that's it. I hope I really helped you guys and explained how good this little LC2i is. So maybe I can give you a demo. I'll try. I'm not a YouTuber. If you're looking for something crazy, hey, this ain't it. This isn't the sub, but like I said, I'm just trying to keep from blowing my alternator or just overpowering the electrical system. And so here we are. I might bump up to 500 watts later on, but right now, I mean, this is plenty. This is plenty for me. And I hope I helped one of you guys today. So have a great day. Jesus loves you.